What's up, everyone? Elo here, internet's most tiredest music teacher for today. Um, I don't know, just feeling really out of it. You can see my beard is got a weird little fluff clump here because I slept on it wrong apparently, which hasn't happened in a while. So is what it is. But uh, yeah, we're back at it. And today, what we're checking out is wasn't originally going to be my selection for today because I wanted to take a short break from videos from this group, but checking out the cover of Separate Ways by the band Missioned Souls. And these kids have just been, oh, this actually came from the Google form. So if you want to drop a suggestion, link is in the channel description. Find it there. Um, and that one helps me out a little bit more so I don't have to filter through comments. I just get an email notification about it and boom, right there. So, um, yeah, but Separate Ways is such a cool track to me. And I was aware of it in high school back in somewhere in the mid 2000s, but I didn't like really latch onto it, oddly enough, until, um, I don't know, like 2 months ago. It's the weirdest thing. And I even saw Journey in concert in the summer of 2009, and I don't know, it just didn't stick with me until now. So it's weird, but gonna check it out from the perspective of these kids in the Mission Souls, and with everything I've seen from them so far, expectations are high, and I am very sure that expectations are going to be knocked out of the park anyway. So it's going to be great. Let's just check it out. Oh, that's so cool. You got, I'm assuming, Dad in there playing along with him. Uh, yeah, pretty sure. So, oh, how fun is that? And yeah, interesting. I'm gonna back up real quick. But um, with the hand usage here, it's interesting with the hand cross there. And I don't know. I mean, I guess I understand that. Keyboard instruments are not my strong suit to begin with, but my initial preference would be to use the left hand for this moving part here, and then have the right hand doing this upper, sorry, doing that upper part. And I think from that, it's mostly because playing violin, viola, bass, the left hand for me is the one doing a lot of the dexterous work, and the right hand could much more easily handle just the single notes. So I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah. Oh, I also love that they're using wireless microphones at home. That's, man, talk about budget. That's awesome. I'm a little jealous. Anyway. Oh, and they've got mom in on it too. Oh, how crazy is that? Man, that's so tough. That's so cool. Okay, sorry.
Was apart, hearts broken in two. Sleepless nights, losing ground, I'm reaching for you. Feeling that it's gone, can't change your mind. If we can go on
so far. Everything is so cool. And just having a six-piece band that's just your family is talk about the dream, man. You're like, hey, does anyone, instead of a movie night, do we just want to go like jam for 2 hours? Like, what would that be? That would just, oh, that would be perfection, hands down. Um, yeah, I was going to wait until the end, but I think I'm going to talk about this real quick so that way we can hear the differences. I think the difference between the younger voices and the older voices, the more mature voice, so between mom and child here, is like it's always so interesting to hear how different they are once you've gone through that transition, going through puberty and letting the rest of the internal physical um, line of the voice develop. And not that not that she's doing anything wrong whatsoever. She's much better than I will be unless I put in a lot of time and work. Um, but her voice just at the moment hasn't like doesn't have that maturity, like that feeling of full support or like depth to it. I don't know. It's interesting. It's so interesting. So I think she's doing a great job. I just think listening specifically to the difference between the fullness of her voice versus mom's voice is just, it's interesting. It's and something that I don't know if I would have focused on if it wasn't 5 o'clock in the morning. So anyway,
Distant ties, promises we made were in vain, in vain, vain. If you must go, I wish you love. You'll never walk alone. Take care, my love. Miss you, love. Someday love will find you. Break those chains that bind you. One night will remind you how we touched and went our separate ways. If he ever hurts you, true love won't desert you. You know I still love you.
it's also the looking back and forth between dad and son over there between bass and drums. Like that is a clutch pocket duo right there. And they're just having a blast. Also looks like, I don't know, maybe my eyes are just weird this morning, but it almost looks like a short scale bass. And nothing wrong with that. I don't know. It's just interesting. So, but again, maybe too early for me to tell for today.
Though we touched and went our separate
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Mom just crushed it on vocals. It was fantastic. And then I was just thinking about it. There's like, from the video editing standpoint, there's like four different cameras going on. We've got one, two, three, four, maybe a fifth in there. Yeah, five. So whoever's doing the video editing, like they had that three-way split right here. Oh my gosh. They must be having a blast going through and doing all that stuff. That's awesome. Anyway, let's talk about that. I'd mentioned the interesting kind of change in voice already. And I think right near the end of the last verse, you could hear that a little bit more because the daughter and mom were a little more back and forth there. So you could kind of get that compare and contrast. So just interesting, something I hadn't thought of. But then what I started thinking about with right from the beginning was the mix of the track and what I thought was interesting compared to what I would have done. Um, the lead guitar was completely in my right ear, and when it first came in, it sounded like the level was maybe a little too soft compared to the synth. And then when the synth started doing some more moving, it felt almost like the synth was too soft. I don't know. It was interesting. Again, I'm not an audio engineer in any way, shape, or form. I do quick recordings and I change levels here and there, but I'm not running stuff where I can really hyper specify instrument by instrument. So I don't have much to say here, but I also have not listened to Separate Ways, the original, through nice headphones either. So I can't attest to what the original mix was. But I think if there'd been a little bit of lead over on the left side, and then actually, they might have just taken care of everything. Anyway, so I thought that was interesting. But I think a couple of people commented on that first video that I did where we watched Deep Purple that the dad is a professional audio engineer, I believe. So in general, everything is fantastic. So I mean, these are just my little thoughts. And if I was doing any sort of editing, mixing, those are just things I'd try out. It's nothing here or there. And then when we went into the first guitar solo, I also thought it was interesting how, thinking about it, you get this it's kind of like the tradition from jazz where you're taking solos. You take the head, which is that lead melody, and you make structural, not structural changes, but you make essentially embellishments to the melody and then deviate from there along the chord progression with kind of structural ideas from the melody. And that's really what the guitar solo is at the beginning. Um, I thought that was really cool. And again, 5 in the morning musings, just noticing things. So neither here or there. I thought it was cool though. But yeah, the dexterity on that kid is incredible with the left hand. And then also, I wouldn't say sweep picking, but there were some moments where we had them going through like a 4 to 6 string kind of rundown. And that was from a right hand standpoint. That's pretty crazy. And that's one thing when I play guitar. That's why I stick mostly to like folk and old country and acoustic covers is that I can strum chords all day. I can do that pretty well. But when it comes to individual picking and maintaining that specificity per string, I don't have that. And that's one thing that lead guitarists always make me jealous of is having that ability to very finely go through and work their way around all of this stuff. So yeah, I just that always makes me so happy to see people just crushing it successfully, living out dreams. So, but again, yeah, I think that one blew past expectations by a long shot. I think it's so great that this family is able to do this kind of stuff. And then, oh, the one other thought I had, if anyone knows, mostly because I'm tired and busy, but if they have any original songs, I would love to check that out because my hope would be for the kids as they grow older to not necessarily stop doing covers, but really get into some original stuff and get themselves out there as like an actual touring band if that's what they want to do. Um, but if they have any original tracks, I think that would be fantastic to check out. So if you know of any, let me know. But with that, if you like this kind of stuff, you want to see more of it, you can subscribe to the channel. Um, also, feel free to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down, but preferably a thumbs up. And then always welcome to leave a comment. You can check out the song request, song suggestion form in the channel description. And I try to get around to those. I'm trying to be better about that. So we will see. But then, yeah, until next time, Internet's second tiredest music teacher. This is Elon